We're the proof that Jesus, thou art all compassion, and pure unbounded love thou art. When there was no arm long enough and no arm strong enough to lift us, we thank you that your arm reached us. As the old hymn says, from sinking sands he lifted me. With tender hands he lifted me. From shades of night to days of light. Oh, praise his name, he lifted me. How blessed we are to be here tonight. What if thy form we cannot see, we know and feel that thou art here.
There's something supernatural that happens where suddenly deep inside of you, you just get it. You just suddenly go, everything on earth just seems so meaningless, so tiny compared to knowing him. I mean, like right now in heaven, there's this being who's looking at me, and he determines if I take another breath. He determines if my heart beats another beat. I mean, what is more exciting than speaking to him who's keeping everything in control? It's up to him whether I walk off this platform. It's completely up to him whether tomorrow happens for me, for you. It's up to him, all of eternity, everything. And I just don't get it anymore, how people that say they know God, and yet prayer is like an obligation.
Circumstances often hinder our best desires, but we thank you that you never break your promises. You've no reason to. We thank you for your amazing track record, if we dare use that phrase, that never in the history of the world have you failed to keep a promise. You've never let your people down, whether they were individuals in prison or a million coming out of Egypt, wandering through the wilderness. You led them by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. We thank you for the pillar of fire you've given us, your holy word. A servant of yours in the Old Testament said, your word is like a fire that burns in my bones. We thank you for this book. We know it's not of human construction. My faith looks up to thee. As thou hast died for me, it says, oh, may my love to thee, pure, warm, and changeless, be a living fire. There's only one way he can be a constant living fire, and that is to gaze on his holiness, gaze on his majesty, gaze on his beauty, to worship him. If we really worship God, we never backslide. If you worship God, if you soar through into eternity, you never let anything or anybody get you down. And verse 6. Before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal in the midst of the throne, and round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes. Actually, that's a bad translation. The real translation is 4 living ones. They weren't beasts in the sense that we think of animals. 4 living ones full of eyes before and behind, and the first living one was like a lion, the second like a calf, the third had the face of man, the fourth was like an eagle. And the 4 living ones had each of them 6 wings, and they were full of eyes within, and they rest not day or night, singing what? Holy, holy, holy is